So as you can see them from the crudely laid out graphic on the screen, we're at Mount Panorama tonight. I'm just going to do a very quick volume check. Give me a second. Make sure that you can hear me okay. Right, sounds okay. As is always the way though, please do let me know if that isn't the case and I can do adjustments and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, tonight we're at Mount Panorama, probably one of my favourite circuits, in all fairness. I absolutely love it here. It does produce some great racing. It's strategy here, especially in the feature race, going to be really important because tyre selection here is pretty critical. Like, are you anticipating getting stuck in a train, etc, etc, etc. We've got a sprint race starting in a couple of minutes. That's the grid for that is the reverse grid from last week's feature race, I think it is. We'll find out in a second anyway. And then tonight then we've got some points to look at, because of course we're at the final right now. So this is it now. If I just flick you over very quickly to this screen then, so you can see Heracram after last week took what can only be described as a commanding lead of the championship, with Tommy Concrete not able to race. It was in a hotel or something, so he couldn't make it last week. That has put him with a lot to do tonight. You can see there he's on 192 points, Heracram's on 217. What I've built myself, because I can't edit this sheet, I've built myself this one. So tonight, if I update these, not with that keyboard, that's the wrong keyboard, my other keyboard, if I update this, it will update the points sort of in real time, so I can keep on in touch with what's actually going on. So between the sprint and the feature race, I can give you a bit more of a closer idea. At the minute, there's 25 points between Heracram and Tommy Concrete. There's another 24 points behind second and third, but there's a couple of close battles you can see going on. So we've got Richie and Dark Clark, we've got Richie and Bobby in the other Lexus, and there's a big gap to Mental Nev, and then this little fight here between P1 Don and V Show, and then LFC Fan Fat Pickles Bros, pretty close. So you can see there's plenty on the line for tonight. I don't know what's just happened on there, unplugged or whatever, who cares. So yeah, plenty on the line tonight for the drivers to basically try and figure out and see what's see who's going to come away with the title. So let's get to the racing. Hopefully it's working. So who have we got in the room tonight? We've got 15 of 16, so that's me included. So we're missing a couple. I think I did read somewhere. That's LFC Fan's not here. So I'm about to get underway with the feature. Not the feature, the sprint. My apologies. I carried away with myself. Getting too excited about this. I'm far too excited about this tonight. I'm hyped, ladies and gents. I am hyped for this. Right, so sprint race, 10 points up for grabs for the winner in this one. Heracram and Tommy Concrete gonna be the ones to watch. They're both side by side at the back. We'll keep an eye on that because yeah, they could set themselves up for a slam down finale here as everyone gets away well. The first dodge there absolutely bogs down, but James Harbin in the Porsche gets a blistering start then. I'm already clipping the replays. A car off in the background. It's one of the Dodgers. That's Total Rose, I think. It looks like it was. Who's at the back? Heracram looks like he didn't get as good of a start as Tommy Concrete did. Tommy Concrete's already up into P9. To make this interesting, we really do need Tommy to outscore Heracram tonight. Only the top 10 will score points in this race. Not as many points up for grabs in the sprint race. It's not as important as Dark Clark there goes for an absolute send on V Show. Yeah, it's not as important, but you do still want to get those points. When you're talking about the margins that we're talking about here, every point counts, basically. It's James Harbour making the early running, followed by Fat Pickles Bro. Then you've got the other Mercedes there, Mental Nev. Those two cars are towers of power then, as the two Subarus, Richie and V Show, Very much the opposite. They have plenty of lateral grips. So around this section here, they will be mighty. But I expect them to start to falter as we go down the straights. Then you've got the Citroen, followed by a Dodge. Just watch everyone get down the mountain. Yeah, everyone looks to be negotiating this okay then as we come down the mountain for the first time of asking. Everyone's nice and compact together. Everyone also behaving themselves. I sound surprised when I say that. I know I genuinely mean it, as James Harpen chucks his way round Forest Elbow then, and the slipstream party begins. So this then is where most of the overtaking tonight will happen then. So if you get a good run out of Forest Elbow down the Conrod straight and towards the chase, you can get a lot of your overtaking done here, as James Harben's pulled out a good enough gap from Fat Pickles, although Pickles is now firmly in that tow. Will James put up a big fight here? He's going to be close. Looks like Pickles is not going for it, though someone that is going for it is Total Rose on the move on Dark Clark. There's a bit of contact there between the Dodge and the Citroen. I think, yeah, Dark Clark managed to keep it relatively in a straight line. That has brought Tommy Concrete though back into play as we go 3 wide then through Morris. And it's Total Rose this time on Tommy Concrete. As there's a little bit of contact, Total Rosa backs off, lets Tommy Concrete take the front position, and they can resume their fighting another day. Fabuki then is trying to make some ground up here in the Chevrolet. He just can't find a way past. Neither can Hirokram or Bobby. Those two are stuck. At the moment, it's only Bobby scoring points out of the two Lexus. Hirokram is down in 11th place. As we see the lone McLaren tonight, Toby having to defend away an absolute horde of cars. Those are the Lexuses behind him. That McLaren though should be a decent car around here. It's got all the attributes you need to have a good lap time around Bathurst. Expect that car to do pretty well overall, but in the sprint race, where everyone just throws caution to the winds, it's a little bit more of a difficult situation. Total Rose then is the bottleneck happening up there as James Harben continues his lead at the top. Very hard to make a pass here at the top of the mountain. You won't see many moves happen up here. Purely on the basis it's certified hell if you do so. So I've got a little bit of hiccups tonight, so you might hear that from time to time. The Hirokram has managed to get his way to the points as Bobby runs off the circuit. And the duck on your screen, by the way, is in honour of our Mr. Bob Bristow, who did the commentary recently for the British GT event that I took part in. And halfway through the commentary, James Harben sent him a picture of a duck, and the commentary was interrupted because of that. Oh, Bobby's made a mistake though. I think all that talks of ducks got him a little bit excited then, as he must have slapped the wall coming there. Let's have a look. He's going through the dipper, yeah, just clips the wall there through the dipper, and stays out of the way of his teammate, so he lets him run through. But yeah, unfortunately that's going to put him down a few positions on his as Fat Pickles Bro then makes his way past James Harben. Mercedes is decent in a straight line though. I'm more impressed with these two Subarus that while they've got the tow, they're not getting dropped. Those two cars do not have the power then, as the two Citroens of Dark Clark and Tommy Concrete look to make their way through. How is this move going to play out then? Dark Clark eagerly looking at the back of Rich's cars, looking for a gap. If he can get the move done under slipstream though, but everyone's getting slipstream in this train. No one's got an advantage particularly over anyone else. Little bit of a tap there from Dark Clark, but that's okay. Richie kept it in the straight line. Dark Clark is just looking for a gap now on the Subaru that at the moment is just sticking to the inside line and moves around the outside. Can happen at Griffin's because of the way the corner's banked. It's very difficult to make that happen. As Dark Clark finds a gap on the inside. Looks like Richie's going to fight it all the way. That Subaru does have great grip though, so he might just be able to hang on to something here. It's going to be on the inside then for the cutting, and Richie makes it stick. That's lovely battling between those two. Really nice and respectful. That's brought Toby back into play though. And importantly, Hirokram is getting back into the groove as well, as Fabuki's now got his way past Bobby. Then it's Total Rose in 12th, Infinity Graphics and Shell Shock sort of having their own race at the moment in 13th and 14th. They fell off the order quite early, but Fat Pickles Bro leads us down. Excuse me. Leads us down through Skyline for the third time, leading the way after getting past James Harben a lap ago. Hasn't really pulled a gap on the Porsche driver. Mental Lev in the other Mercedes is trying to get his way through, but he's having to fight a bit of a two-horse race. His Mental Lev is having to defend and attack at the same time. As you can see on his exit there at Forest Elbow, he's very concerned about the one that Visho was going to get on him, and actually moved to cover that off instead of getting the toe from James. Mental Lev now with it all to do, but if he can get a move made on James Harben down towards the chase, that might just ease the pressure a little bit. He can start to catch up to his compadre at the front. Mental Lev is going for the move. James is defending it. Nice and respectful. Plenty of room given. Mental Lev late on the brakes. Sweeps round the outside, but sweeps a little bit too far. Unfortunately, he goes on the grass and loses a position now to Visho. That's the gambling that you play sometimes when you go for a little bit of a move. And Dark Clark gets his way past the bus driver at the moment. Mental Lev though will fight this one. On his day, Mental Lev's one of the fastest guys I've driven against, but he's just had a bit of a rough lap there as he did go for a move on the Porsche. It didn't quite work out for him. It's dropped him a couple of positions now, and that has put Visho now in the throes of James Harben. And after all those mum jokes that have been going on through the week, Visho now will be looking to exact revenge as he slips one up the inside of the Porsche. Might not want to fight this one too much, but we'll see. Last races of the season, sorry. James has got nothing to lose really, and he might as well give it a bit of a fight. Fat Pickles, though, importantly, is now out of the slipstream. He's probably the only car on circuit not giving slipstream to someone else at the moment. James has managed to fend off Dark Clark. Then it's Tommy Concrete in P5. Hirokram has worked his way up though. He's P7 now. He's caught up with this little pack. So if Hirokram can be quite clinical in his moves, he could pull the gap back to Tommy Concrete, who needs to get... Tommy Concrete really just needs to get a move on now. We're halfway through this sprint race already, and after making some great initial progress, just start to look like he's dropping the focus a little bit though. There has been, in fairness, it hasn't been easy for him so far, but I felt like I was probably being a bit too harsh there mid-sentence, but at the same time, everything to play for Tommy after missing last week. He's had a fantastic season, absolutely dominated this championship, but having to miss a race last week, and Hirokram really did just take full advantage of that as Hirokram now moves his way past Richie. The Lexus simply just outpowering the Subaru in a straight line, and now it's the two championship rivals due to go head to head. Then Tommy Concrete and Dark Clark need to work together to get past James Harben. James wants no part of that and just gets out of the way, just didn't want to be involved in it. Now he's in the middle, much like Danny Ricciardo in the F1, just in the middle of the two championship protagonists now, and will probably not want to be involved in this. And let's see what the Porsche does though. He's fine for track position, so he could do Tommy Concrete a solid here and just hold up Hirokram for a little bit, but Hirokram now not able to get the move made then down into Hell Corner though as we come up the mountain straight. Steady climb uphill then, so the bigger engine cars have a natural advantage coming up this hill, and you do see it actually happen. The Lexus here will have the legs on the Porsche, then a flat 6 versus a big gruntly V8. If Hirokram can be ahead, pretty much guarantees his position then as we come through a section of the track that you just cannot overtake through. Coming up towards the cutting, but it is still Pickles leading the way. We will check back in on him in just a moment. We've got the story of the two championship protagonists at the moment going head to head. Visho has caught Fat Pickles Bro in what can only be described as a monumental fashion. The last lap for Pickles was the 13.0. For Visho it's an 11.7. So the pace difference between these two cars at the moment is quite astronomical. Pickles tends to come into his own in the feature race as he saves fuel like probably never ever seen anyone else do. Just on board with Visho at the moment, the Gulf liveried Subaru there all over the back of the Mercedes. He can afford to be patient though. He's got a big long straight coming up, and it's going to be a drag race now between Mercedes and the Subaru, and I know which one's going to win out of that. The Mercedes does have the legs, yeah, he stretches out an immediate advantage. Visho can just tuck back into the toe there, and as we look back, he's well and truly getting sucked along then is Visho, but Fat Pickles is going to go defensive. no room at the end for V-Show at the moment. Dark Clark then P3. Tommy Concrete 4th with Hurricane 5th. Richie is 6th now with Toby in 7th. Having got past James Harbin, Fabuki moved himself up to P9 then. There's a little battle at the back. Mental Nev is just looking to reassert his position in this race now. Runs 10th as Total Rose goes off the circuit, collides with the barrier, fortunately keeps it on the track and pointing the right way. And then you got Infinity Graphics in 12th. Bobby is 13th. Bobby has had an absolute nightmare from somewhere. I'm not sure what's happened to Bobby. Maybe he snuck a duck in there with him. I'm not sure. But Shell Shock P14 now and not too far away from Bobby. Not sure what's happened to Pickles. But V-Show is leading the race now. Dark Clark P2. Tommy Concrete 4 fighting away with Pickles. Let me see if I can figure out what happened to Fat Pickles. I actually can't see what happened to him. It must have been at the very start of the lap. Pickles then down from leading the race down to P4. That Mercedes is really struggling in Group 4, and I can speak from experience. The Group 4 Mercedes is horrible. It is an understeery crap boat. I don't know what they were thinking when they designed it, especially doing it in an SLS variant. It's like driving the SS understeer. It's awful. So Pickles will really struggle through anything that's got a corner in it, basically. It's not too bad in a straight line, but introduce that thing to a corner. At the moment, he's doing Tommy Concrete an absolute solid here and holding up Hirocram. So as it stands, P3 in the sprint race is worth 8 points. P5 is 6, so that reduces the deficit down to 23 points. Yeah, I was about to say, something tells me Hirocram will more than likely be able to get past that Mercedes at some point. Pretty much purely based on the fact that that Mercedes is just awful, as it understeers wide enough into the gravel, as you can see there. Someone else is kicking up all sorts of terra firma as well. Two championship protagonists yet again line astern then as we start the last lap of this race. Lap number 7 will be our final here in the sprint race then. It is V-Show leading the way, 1.1 seconds now to Subaru. Just absolute dominant performance from V-Show so far. Then you got Dark Clark P2. I wonder if we'll get some team orders for Team Citra and then let Tommy by, because they're very vulnerable at the moment to that Lexus. If they can manufacture something. Dark Clark at the moment, P5 in the championship. He's fighting for Buki. He's already picking up some extra points, is he? This is how confident I've already inputted V-Show's 10 points for the sprint race win. That's how confident I am that he's going to win this. Should he stack it, well, I will look like a very silly boy. So, what are the Citroen chaps doing here? This is going to make them very vulnerable to this Lexus, especially Tommy Concrete, who's at the back of this train. You could almost have used Dark Clark there as somewhat of a sacrificial lamb to prevent Hirocram from outscoring Tommy Concrete, which would pretty much put this championship to bed. If Hirocram gets past Tommy Concrete in the sprint race, that is pretty much championship over for Tommy Concrete. At least mathematically he has a chance if he finishes ahead of the Lexus. But the Lexus though now getting pressure from Toby and the McLaren, who's had a fantastic section down the mountain, and he's hassling that Lexus, so that might just be a breath of fresh air to those Citroens. Let's go and we'll just keep an eye on this though until we get closer to the ends. Hirocram manages to stay ahead and even launches himself right back onto the back of Tommy Concrete. We'll keep half an eye on that though as V-Show rounds the final corner for the 7th and final time in this sprint race. It's V-Show leading the way. He will win the race. Dark Clark is going to get P2. Tommy Concrete P3 then ahead of Hirocram, keeps his championship hopes alive just. Then Toby 5th, Richie 6th, Fabuki 7th, great drive from Fabuki. Mental Nev 8th, James Harbin in 9th, Pickles finished 10th after all that. Total Rose 11th, Infinity Graphics is going to come home in 12th in the other Porsche. Then it's going to be Bobby, who's not having a good night, would be fair to say. It would be fair to say that Bobby's had better races. Not sure what's going on there. Is it the ultimate shithouse with F1 Bob Bristow as it reverses across the line? Bobby, you can't do that. That's just naughty. That's bad. Can't do that. Right. So, we need to think about points. That's what we need to think about. So, let me just put some music on the background. So, yeah, well done to V-Show for taking the win. Let's have a look at those results though, so I can use them for the points. So it was V-Show, got 10 points, Dark Clark, impressive P2, got himself at 9 points. Well, I need the other keyboard down. 9 points for him. It's going to be 8 points for Tommy Concrete. It's going to be 7 for Mr. Ericon. Toby earns himself 6 points. Richie's going to get himself 5 points. Kabuki going to get 4. Mental Nev then. 3 points for Mental Nev. 2 points for James Harbin. James earns some points for Team Paul. And then Fat Pickles well picks up the last point there. Where is he? He is there in the Mercedes. He gets 1 point. Right, so mathematically then, ladies and gents, this is going to make it interesting. So, just to let you know, the points available for a feature race win are 25, and the difference between Herocram and Tommy Concrete, Tommy Concrete's got 200 points, Herocram 224. So basically, should Herocram get 40th and above, no matter what Tommy Concrete does, Herocram wins the championship. That is all you need to know for the title. Sorry, I'm drinking my tea at the same time. Right. In terms of manufacturer championship, let me find out if I've got another song I can put on. This one. It's an advert. Awesome. Love this royalty-free stuff.
Find the perfect track.
That'll do. Right then, we go racing into the night here at Bathurst and for the feature race. I'm assuming we're going to be underway in a minute or two. I'm just seeing what that does for the Constructors' Championship. So, Lexus have another 7. So that puts them on 340. Citroen though did well, so Citroen scored. 1 minute, I'm pressing the wrong button on me. I can tell I'm doing that. So Citroen scored 17. So let me give me a sec. I didn't do a sum for all this, which is probably my mistake. So they're on 316 at 17. Oh, right. Do you want the interesting news, ladies and gents? Citroen and Lexus tied on points for the manufacturer's title. 333 points each. That is how close that is. Pretty much all the other positions are decided, unless With Chevrolet really only having one driver, then they've got 320 points now. Subaru did pretty well out of that. Obviously they've got Richie and Vishow's points. So 15 points for Subaru. Takes them to 221, I think. But that pretty much finishes anything that was going on. So yeah, that's just going to make it difficult for Tommy Concrete in the feature race, because they're going to be starting pretty close together. 40 minutes, anything can happen. Even a disconnect, and Tommy Concrete finishes first. He'd have to win. He has to win the race, no matter what else happens. Tommy Concrete has to win to be in with a chance. This is just going to make it quite a stressful race for the Citroen driver, I think. While we're waiting, let's just actually watch some cars go around. This is of course going to conclude the Infinity GT Manufacturer Series for this season. We will have a Champions event. I don't know whether I'm commentating that yet. I'm yet to be officially asked to do it, but I've done the last few seasons, so I would imagine, unless I've really offended James in some way, that he'll probably just ask me to do it again. I'll assume I'm doing it. Either way, I'm free and available for that night, so I'm happy to run that for them. That's on the 1st of March, and it's in the Bugatti. It's a Group 1 and a Group 4 event. So pretty much similar layout to what you're watching now, in terms of all drivers. Well, actually, all drivers will have the exact same car in each race. So I think it's Monza in the Group 1 Bugatti, and then Red Bull in the Group 4. I'm not sure if that's the right way around. I only skimmed at it earlier on, so might be wrong with that. But yeah, we'll see. That might be live and direct on this channel. Whether there's a duck on there as there is on your current screen, I don't know. We'll see. Here we go then. Result for V-Show, just looking at that result moved him to 8th in the championship, by the way, for our Mr. V-Show. Turn the music off now. Where's Dark Clark on? He didn't win, did he? I'm so confused. Oh, there we go. It's because of the way Bathurst is, it's just terrible like that. But it's Dark Clark then. He was ahead. V-Show's managed to pull it back. Go through the rules in just a second so you know what you're looking out for. V-Show, Dark Clark, Tommy Concrete, Hirupan P4, then Toby P5. Richie 6th, Mental 7th, James Harbin is 10th, Fubuki now in P9. James and the two Porsches, actually, that's going to be a good photo for later. He loves his photos, I think that's going to be a really good one. They're side by side, 10th and 11th, but it is V-Show leading the way. The Citroen of Dark Clark, though, eagerly looking for a way past. The two Citroens looking for a way past. Hirupan can kind of take this one steady. He just has to finish, basically. As long as he finishes 15th or above or 14th or above, he is mathematically the winner of the championship. So he doesn't need to stress himself out. Importantly, the V-Show and Dark Clark have both gone out on the soft compound of tyre, so they are wanting to pull a gap early doors. Tommy Concrete started on the medium tyre, which means he's expected to be in this fight with Hirupan for a little bit. Toby also on the medium there in the McLaren. Then he got Richie on the medium as well. Mental never. Most drivers will start on that medium tyre. it just offers you more strategic opportunities later in the race. It's only the top two that have chose to do the aggressive strategy and start on those soft tyres. You can see how much of a gap V-Show is already out of slipstream range of Dark Clark, but with a really good run out of Forest Elbow, Dark Clark's able to pull himself back into it. Hiracom's got to be careful here of Toby in the McLaren. We'll be looking through the for the optimistic looking glass there, and might launch a move on Hiracom. No such things happen. We can see a little bit of a fight. Oh, there's a car off. That's Richie. We may go back and have a look at that. Fat Pickles Bro's involved in that as well. There's a car waiting actually. That looked to be Mental Nev that was waiting, I want to say. It looked like Mental Nev's car. Yeah, he's limbering away there, so we'll go back and have a quick look at what happened with that. Where are we? It was a bit further back, wasn't it? Bobby might get a good view of this. Fabuki will get a brilliant view of this. Richie goes deep. Oh, Fabuki just ends up hitting the back, and that's what all these slow cars were doing. No one could quite figure out exactly what happened. So that has unfortunately caused carnage there with Mental Nev, Fabuki, Fat Pickles and Richie pretty much simultaneously just all out of the early running. They've got it all to do. The really bad bit for those guys is it took them out of the slipstream train. Toby's got past Hiracom now. Hiracom, I don't think he'll be too bothered about that. Pride is at stake, of course, for the Lexus driver. He will want to win the race, but he knows he doesn't have to, which is a nice weight off the shoulders, really. All the pressure is on this man here, Mr. Tommy Concrete, as V-Show now has dropped behind Dark Clark, the Citroen, proving too powerful, on those soft compound tyres. Subaru really struggling to deliver the same performance he was doing in the sprint race a little bit earlier on. Even Tommy Concrete is managing to keep up with the car on a really soft compound tyre. Toby then needs to try and just drop the toe of Hiracom there. If he can get in the Hiracom and Tommy Concrete, and those two can work together for a little bit. The problem, I guess, for Tommy Concrete is that accident that happened a bit further back. It's all but guaranteed that Hiracom wins the championship, because Mental Nev is 20 seconds off the leader here. Mental Nev would need to beat Hiracom in order for Tommy Concrete to win the championship remotely, mathematically. So I'm sounding like just someone who's got no hope or anything, but I like to see an interesting finish to things. I suppose I'm an idealist like that, Actually had the chat on. Where is the duck over? The duck's there. I really confused the dog. I'm sorry, Poppy. Oh, we've had a slammer. We've had a slammer then, and that's Dark Clark. Slaps the wall. He's got away with it. Let's have a look at that again. Just cooked it too much, and bang and wallop. French cars famous for their reliability. That one's let Dark Clark down early days. V-Show begin to pull away from Tommy Concrete now, with Hiracom getting past Toby. That basically means the Lexus driver is now directly behind the man he's been battling with all season, the man who's had his number all season. Tommy Concrete, I must say, I hope we see him back again. It's been an absolute pleasure watching him race. As we know from past streams on different platforms, it's been pretty difficult to beat, and Tommy Concrete has pretty much whipped him the entire season, and I'm pretty sure as well that Hiracom won't mind me saying that. Bobby then, P6, having a better go of it with his indicators on there in the Lexus, not sure what Bobby's up to. James Harben P7, then we've got Total Rose and Infinity Graphics battling it out as we come down the back straight. Let's get me Bobby jig up, there we go. aboard Infinity Graphics as he furiously flashes the lights there to put Aaron off. Let's hope he's not in there having some sort of episode as both cars hit that curbing just a little bit too fiercely. Infinity Graphics not able to deploy Porsche power on that dodge, but he's using all the tactics in his arsenal. Rich is recovering from that earlier off. 10 for him now. Fat Pickles going with him. P12. Mental Nev in the pits nice and early. Has been in the pits for a while. I don't think Mental Nev will be continuing in the race. Shell Shock now in 13th place. That retirement, if that's what it is, a retirement, again solidifies Hirochrom's position because Mental Nev can't overtake him while he's in the pits, can he? The only thing that can save Tommy Concrete now is Hirocrom not finishing at all, and he's only got to lump around in that Lexus for another 32 minutes, and away he goes. Enough of that though. Let's just pretend this is a normal race, and we'll come to the championship standings towards the end. I just always get a little bit amped up when it's the final race of the season. Let's have a look at what could potentially happen on track. Then we've got Total Rose. Now with Richie up his backside, something's happened to Infinity Graphics. Maybe the furious light flashing he was doing shorted something out, as one of the cars there is wildly off, and that, another one joins it, and that was Infinity Graphics. Windscreen wipers going 10 to the dozen as well. He will need new underpants in that Porsche as it hits the wall as well. So this is coming through Finley Park. Does he hit the wall? Yeah, it hits the wall. Goes into the gravel, follows that up by going straight into the wall down through the dipper. So not a great outing there for Infinity Graphics, but he's still ahead of the American Shell Shock. The top two on soft tyres, predictably now getting away from the pack. 2.6 seconds is the gap, and they will want to extend this stint as much as they possibly can. Tommy Concrete, Hirocrom and everyone below them, for example, will probably want to get off that medium as early as they can. They've already had the sprint race to assess just how much degradation those soft tyres have around here if they haven't been doing any practice beforehand. So they'll know 15 minutes, they can easily do that. They'll probably stretch that as well a little bit. Are pretty good at their tyre saving, so I would definitely imagine they can stretch that a little bit. So Hirocrom v Tommy Concrete. This is a decent battle to watch. If it isn't even championship relevant, it's a nice little battle to watch. You can just see the Lexus headlights there shining away. Everything apart. The Citroen's now about to start dropping downhill. The weight balance of the car shifts its way, makes the back end really light. You have to be careful with your braking and your throttle inputs. You don't want to be too quick on either. Gets the power down, flicks the dust up there at the Lexus. Nice and easy then as we dip down towards Forest Elbow. A good exit out of here is absolutely critical. Tommy Concrete on the power really has a slight lift though and touches the wall. That is going to give Hirocrom a little bit of a boost coming down the hill. Hirocrom, as you can tell, isn't really pushing the envelope too much here, even though he's in the slipstream. I don't know if he's going to be close enough then as we come down the ends. Is he? Oh, he's got a really, that top gear of the Lexus is beastly. Flick to the outboard shots then as they both fly past the camera. Hirocrom might just have a nudge up the inside, but Tommy Concrete able to cover that off. Hirocrom wasn't alongside by the time they got to the braking zone, so Tommy Concrete able just to take his normal line. Bobby's picked up a penalty. He's been a naughty boy somewhere. Total Rose having a battle with James Harben here. Total Rose loses out. He might lose out to Richie as well. He might try and get 2 in 1 here. Then Richie and the Subaru, who had that early off. James at the moment in the Porsche, he's having a good race, James, so far. The sprint race started well, but I just don't think he wanted to get involved in many fights, and ultimately backed out of it a little bit. Last race of the season. Digging his heels in a little bit in that Porsche. It will work quite well over the mountain. It will just struggle round here. Now this is where Total Rose will start to come back into it then. Slightly out of the slip at the moment though, so that's why he's not really reeling this top crew in that much. Dark Clark's on another level at the moment. 2:11.8 at the moment for the Citroen driver. V-Show 2:11.9 is his fastest so far. A little bit slower. Saved a little bit more fuel. Tommy Concrete still ahead of Hirakram. We checked in on these boys about a lap ago. Let's have Hirakram's perspective then coming down the hill. The Lexus with the heavy front end will be especially vulnerable down here. That back end not be happy. You normally shuffle your brake bias a little bit rearwards coming downstairs just to give the back a little bit of bite. Stop the front end acting like a little bit of a pendulum really. Nice and tidy through there though for Hirakram, and he can carry on the chase against Tommy Concrete. Check in with Toby. Toby's in a race of his own now, as is Bobby. These two kind of all by themselves. James still trying to put off the attentions then of Richie in the Subaru. Richie's fully in the slipstream now though. James moves over to the left, which turns to the inside then for the chase. Paul's decent on its brakes. He should be able to get this tidied up. Richie might be a little bit later though. Not enough room at the end there for Richie. He's had one mistake down there already today. Won't want to make it two, and lives to fight another day. James defends that nicely. We've got Fubuki slowly approaching the back of this little pack now. He's up to P10. Got himself past Fat Pickles Bro. He will be eager to make some positions up. So in the points, Fubuki comfortable third, mathematically safe in third. No one can catch him, but he can't catch any of the top two. Guaranteed third in the championship for Fubuki, even if he disconnects from this race, I think, because he's got 33 points back to Toby. So Fubuki can just afford to hang up and go home, really, if he really wants to, and he'll still have a theoretical trophy at the end of this one. Tommy's still ahead of Hirakram. Let's check back in on this fight between James, Richie and Total Rose. You can see the Fubuki and Fat Pickles Bro little battle going on behind. We'll just check in with Richie's POV. He's got a Porsche to the front of him, a Dodge to the back. Here I am, stuck in the middle in a Subaru. Sorry, that was really bad. No room at the end here over the top of the mountain. You can see there's technically room on the circuit, but going offline here is filled with danger, and not many drivers will really want to do it. Now, there's dust being kicked up from a car ahead though. That's Bobby in the car ahead, who is being caught by this little pack. Bobby's had an accident somewhere. He's ghosted out a little bit. Has he come back to life? That's really going to put paid to James Hardman, but also that's going to help James. Will it? No, it's not going to help him. He's come out far too close to him. James will be cursing Bobby there. Something's happened to Bobby. We have replay marked it. If nothing happens down this straight, we can go and have a look at it. Not sure quite what Bobby's doing today. Fortunately for James, Richie didn't have a great exit. James here in the Porsche. Got to be able to get that move made. Nice overtake there for James Hardman on Bobby. Is the Lexus going to be able to act as a little bit of a rolling roadblock then for the Subaru? Bobby's having some sort of duck fancy tonight, I think, and just not... Oh, is he... So someone kicked up a big cloud of dust there then. Richie might have a run on him here. No, he hasn't. 2:27 that lap for Bobby. What is he doing? Let's actually go and have a look, shall we? So this is on board with Bob. Oh, there he goes. Goes for an adventure. Hits the wall. Yeah, that costs you a ton of time. He got back up to speed though relatively quickly, but unfortunately that was right in the path of James. Someone that isn't the path of anyone. Dark Clark, absolute dominance from Dark Clark so far in this early running. He has to take the harder compound tyre though, so the race should come back to the likes of Tommy Concrete and Heracom a little bit later on. Heracom looks like he's just playing it steady at the moment. Has saved a little bit more fuel than the Citroen above. The Citroen is a little bit thirstier technically than most other Group 4 cars. So it naturally lacks strategy. Remember, those boys have had some brave strategy calls over the season, the two Citroen chaps, and they've got to be praised for that, really. Toby still in 5th. It's James now up to P6. Bobby is still in 7th. Can Bobby have an attack here on the Porsche? The Lexus is far superior in a straight line. Isn't giving the slipstream then to Richie, who is coming under pressure from Total Rose. This is a much closer fight than Total Rose. A two-time race winner of the Infinite GT Manufacturers Series, of course. Someone who has much prestige in this championship as Bobby goes off-roading. As we've got a couple of cars in the pit, so a couple of cars on the mediums. Yeah, this is probably what I would have expected, to be fair, if I'd have been paying closer attention to the time. The guys on the mediums, mental nerves left. The guys on the mediums then, yeah, they'll want to be getting rid of that tyre ASAP. Rocky. Tommy Concrete is pitted in early. Now, depending on where that brings him out, he should be fine. Yeah, he is. So Tommy Concrete then should get a nice clear run of all the cars ahead of him. Will be able to do a nice solid outlap, so should be able to pull a little bit more of a gap to Heracom. Heracom though will have slightly fresher tyres towards the end of the race. That Lexus, if anything, is a little bit more thirsty on its tyres than the Citroen is. Well, that's saying something because they're both awful on tyre wear, but there we go. Let's have a quick look at what happened to Bobby a moment ago. This was following James. Late on the brakes. Just decided he doesn't want to take the corner and went on the grass instead. I think these boys on the softs will probably stay out for another couple of laps. We did 7 laps in the sprint. So yeah, they're not doing much more on the softs than they were in the sprint, to be fair. They'll stretch this as much as they can get away with, I'd imagine. The tyre wear for both of them isn't looking too bad at all. 2.5 seconds behind them is Heracom on the mediums. The first guy out there on the mediums. I'll probably be expecting him in the pits, along with pretty much everyone else on the mediums this lap. So we've got a lot of pit crews out into the pit lane at the moment, getting ready to change their drivers over to the softest compound available. Run on the soft tyre without it losing performance is critical. The times done by Dark Clark and V-Show so far pretty consistent with the times I've been doing all race, as Heracom does indeed come out into the pit lane. James is pitting, so is Richie. Total Rose is pitting as well. Tommy Concrete pitted last time out. Where does he come out relative to Heracom? Let's just ride on board with him and see if we get a visual of Heracom coming out the pit lane. Heracom is in there somewhere. Still not been released from his pit box yet, but it is a very short one. Should get a view of him. There he is. Heracom has actually not lost too much time. I would have expected a bigger time loss there from the Lexus driver. But his in-lap was pretty good. Tommy Concrete did have a good outlap. But it's hard to build the tyre temp here at Bathurst because the second you come out of the pits, you're straight onto a straight, and that just doesn't really do much for tyre heat. Of course, fuel levels needing to be taken on between the cars as well, of course. So if you've done a good job on fuel saving in the first stint, you won't need to take as much on in the second, and indeed that does appear to have been the case. Heracom came in with a bit of a fuller tank. didn't need to put as much in at the stop. Fabuki's gone shy on fuel, a little bit more than most people. I'd say about 10 litres less than everyone else. That has, of course, jumped him up significantly in the pit order. But it does mean that he's going to have to probably save a little bit as they come out. Depends how many more laps this runs off. We should have about another 9 laps out of this one. We have lost Mental F, who's retired from the race. I will announce then at this point that crowns Heracom the championship winner. No matter what happens, Heracom's won the championship because he now cannot finish low enough to not score enough points to win. And the 2 boys on softs still out and about. And they'll be keeping an eye on this pit delta then. So the gap V-Show and Tommy Concrete have got between each other is going to be critical to how this plays out. At the moment, 28 seconds. That should start to come down slowly, but they'll know how long a pit stop takes. So if they're going to retain their lead, they want to make sure they are pitting prior to that point happening, unless they want to try and have a late attack. As we see Bobby here have a go at Fabuki. Bobby's got a big penalty there, not sure where he collected that. As Bobby is able to sweep around the outside then of the Chevrolet. Probably is having to save a bit of fuel to make it to the end, but track position for him is quite important. And pit stop phase has dropped James down into P10. Got the Lexus who's ran it off circuit this time. Not sure what's happening to Bobby this race. He's really not having a good time. Oh, he's letting Pete. He's burned his penalty away. Unfortunately, he got in the way of Total Rose at the same time, which I'm sure he didn't mean to do. It just so happened that was the case. Bobby getting rid of his penalty then. You have to serve him within 2 laps. Probably why he did it at that point, so he could get back in the tow as we went up the mountain straight. And Bobby with a move around the outside here of Total Rose. Total made a little bit of an error. Did open the door somewhat for Bobby. Can Richie take advantage as well? Richie's got to run, has to back out though, there's no room. Bobby off in the distance as well, that's going to give him dirty tyres coming down the hill. That will put Total Rose back in his slipstream. That will help Total Rose defend against Richie as the first of the soft tyre runners is in the pits. Then Dart Clark pits. V-Show is carrying on then. Tommy Concrete actually has lost time, I think, to the cars ahead. We'll have a look when he comes through. Kind of impossible last lap because he did the fastest lap of the race, and this lap looks decent. We'll of course see what happens. Dark Clark is getting a new set of boots on that now. He'll have the medium tyres on board. Tommy Concrete enters the start-finish straight. Dark Clark might well retain P2. Tight on pit exit. Yeah, I think it's the gap V-Show had. V-Show's doing a decent enough job at the moment. Yeah, Tommy Concrete now onto the softest compound tyres, 4 seconds behind his Citroen teammate. So Dark Clark has the track position but doesn't have the tyre on board to be able to do too much about it should Tommy Concrete start to really launch an attack. And Tommy's going to be a lot quicker through the mountain section. V-Show, how long is he going to take those soft tyres? He'll be watching his sector times, of course. It's 4 temps down through the mountain, which isn't actually that bad here at Bathurst, with the lap times being at over 2 minutes. That lap time is not bad at all. Heracom steals the fastest lap of the race, though that is worth points as well, I may add. I don't know if they get that point in the sprint race. It's a good point, I hadn't thought about that until now. If they haven't in the sprint race, I can't remember who got fastest lap in the sprint. I want to say it was V-Show, but I might be wrong. James has got an almighty penalty from somewhere. bad news for James is, aside from having that penalty, he's dropped down the order a little bit. Dropping time. The main battle here is for P7, which is Bobby, Richie and Totoro's involved in this one. Fubuki up ahead, kicking up a little bit of dust. Visho does pit from the lead of the race then. He should come back out in the lead as well. He shouldn't lose his position here, but Dark Clark might pip him. We shall see. Depends how much fuel he needs. He's going to need about half a tank of fuel. There or thereabouts. Half a tank will be safe because that's how much he used in the sprint, which was 15 minutes. We've not got that. Oh, Toby's left. Not sure what happened to Toby. Really not sure what happened to Toby then. So Vin is out of the pits. Dark Clark is away. Tommy's away. Hirokram's away. Visho drops from first to fourth. And on medium tyres then, it's going to be hard for him to do too much about any of this. There's Hirokram and Tommy Concrete go side by side then for P2. Hirokram round the outside. Tommy stands firm in his defence. Hirokram hits the wall. No room at the end for the Lexus, and he's going to have to stand firm. I'm not sure what happened to Toby. I want to see if I can get a replay where he was on circuit. It won't let me go to him, so I don't actually know what happened to Toby. I could not possibly tell you what happened to him. Whether he messages in the group chat or not is another matter. But your current race leader then, with 11 minutes to go, is Dark Clark. It's then Tommy Concrete. Tommy is on the soft tyre, so it's not going to be as easy for Hirokram to get past him. Hirokram, though, now on the soft tyre is into the 210, the 210.8 this time round for Hirokram. Followed by Visho in fourth, but he's now on the medium tyres, so may well start dropping back. Fubuki, oh, there's been a bit of an incident. It looks like Bobby again. Fubuki now up to P5, Richie 6th, Totoro 7th, Bobby 8th now. Bobby's having a nightmare. What happened to him? Oh, he went off again. They're filling me apart. Bobby's having a nightmare tonight, and he's got a penalty for that as well. And Totoro's has a good run on him here. All that can't is just let James catch up a little bit, in fairness. So James won't be too mad about that. Bobby again goes off the circuit. Totoro's might earn a little bit of a penalty for his own excursion there. Bobby's penalty yet. 3 seconds now for Bobby. This is what annoys me about the GT Sport penalty system. There's no way he gained a second's worth of an advantage by doing that. It's just impossible that was the case. Tommy Concrete and Hirokram again go to war. It's definitely worth keeping an eye on. It's side by side then. As they go up towards the cut-in, Hirokram just about managed to stay away from that off-cambered bit at the edge of the circuit. I'm just going to keep an eye on this for a couple of minutes because this is great racing. Tommy Concrete, at the moment, standing firm in his defence. He's probably trying to just do his teammate an absolute solid here and get Dark Clark a result. Dark Clark, of course, with a good result here, could take Toby's spot. So he could leap himself into P4 in the standings, Dark Clark. And with a decent enough result here, the gap between them is 6 points at the moment. So as it stands, of course, Dark Clark set to pick up 25 points. It's not realistic they're going to drop any lower than 4th. So that's still, what, 18 points for him? So he's still got P4 in the championship, really. But he'll want to do it on track, you know what I mean? He'll want to do it on track. You disconnected. I wonder what happened, Toby. Side by side they go again. Tommy Concrete's going to have the inside. Hirokram's going to try and fight it. We've got Dark Clark off the circuit, though. That might give him a bit of a penalty, does it? It doesn't flash up on my screen. Atomic Concrete and Hirocron. This is a battle and a half, this is. And we'll see just how much they're battling, because Hirocron did a 2:10.8 the lap before, and this lap is going to be in the 13s. So that's how much time these boys lost when they're fighting. Then as Hirocron gets it up the inside, and he can now go on full dog attack mode. He's got 8 minutes and 3 seconds to catch Darklark. Let's have a look at how he got that move made on Tommy Concrete then. Just through Griffins. Yeah, nice and easy move in the end for Hirocron, but he had to work hard for it. Sorry, not Griffins, it was Morris. Griffins is that one. That's Griffins. So what did Tommy Concrete do about this? Near the wheel spin from that Citroen on the exit of that corner, then it just had to dig its heels into the tarmac and just try and get some traction. It must be said, Hirocron is in great form at the moment. Tommy's going to be a little bit rusty after a week away. Of course, this is a spare time thing for these boys. They do it between other commitments. It's just for fun, really. Tommy missed last week. I think he was away with work, so that does have to come first. As much as we may enjoy this a lot more than work, we have to put what provides for us ahead, as Bobby yet again has an off-track excursion. This time James Harbin's going to be caught in the crossfire. Bobby sends it. Bobby, I need an explanation, mate. Why is he driving trash tonight? What's going on? James with a good run. Oh, there's contact there. James just about survives. Bobby's not survived though, and he's sideways and backwards and all sorts. Is he going to get in the way of Fat Pickles, bro? Pickles is going to have an easy overtake here. Yep, Bobby, in fairness to Bobby, he just dives out of the way. Shellshock not a million miles away from getting lapped by the leaders. Darklark can see Shellshock now. Vaguely in the distance. Shellshock is just at turn 2 right now. No change at the top. Richie's still 5th. Unfortunately for Richie, there's nothing he can do now about the top, guys. Absolutely zero. That's kind of game over, I'm afraid, for Richie's race. There's not enough time left. Fabuki doing himself absolutely no harm at all in P6, ahead of Total Rose in P7. James Harbin in 8th. He's had an eventful race. I'm sure we'll be absolutely loving this. Fat Pickles in 9th after getting past Bobby. Bobby, who's visited more wars than people who go and visit the Great Wall of China. He's 10th. Infinite Graphics 11th then in the other Porsche, and Shellshock, he's being chased down by the leading pack. So we'll start to get him lapped in the next lap or so. Battle for seconds. Not really kicking off at the moment. Drivers will be mildly cautious of fuel, maybe. Should have enough on board looking at it. Problem is for the Citroen, even though it's got a slipstream, it's not pulling that much on the Lexus that when it gets to the braking zone it's got an opportunity. Vin doing a fantastic job on those mediums. He's keeping in touch with that lead pack, but he's not going to be able to make a dent in it. Can Total Rose do anything about Fabuki before the end of the race? Can he get him out of the way? Fabuki, of course, did short fuel at the start, but has done a good enough job saving it that I think he's safe now. Seems like he's certainly going to be okay. Yeah, looks like he should be fine. Total's going to go down a little bit of a move down into Murray's. No, he isn't. stays stationary. See just how much the leaders then have caught up to Shell Shock. Dark Clark that time round at 12.3. Hirocram 11.5. Hirocram is really on the chase. He's got 2 more laps in which to do this, and based on current pace, he'll be in his slipstream this time next lap, so it's going to be a close final lap. If Dark Clark doesn't put a foot wrong, he's got a chance definitely to take the win here away from Hirocram. He currently holds the fastest lap. Didn't have the finest sprint race, was stuck back of the pack for quite a while. Tommy Concrete needs a good exit from Forest Elbow then to really propel himself, but unfortunately he's had a bad mid-corner. Dark Clark and those mediums will struggle to get the power down. Hirocram, he's doing enough at the moment. He had a really good exit as Hirocram. Dark Clark managed to get a little bit of help from Shell Shock up ahead. Shell Shock will know about the approaching pack. He should start getting blue flags anytime now. This is top 3. Dark Clark, Hirocram. Just touches the gravel there. That's going to give Dark Clark a little bit of respite. It does. It puts another couple of attempts on the gap. One more lap to decide the outcome of this race. And Dark Clark, can he take a famous victory away from Hirocram? 1.2 seconds is the gap. Tommy Concrete probably just out of range to do anything about Hirocram at this stage. He's powerless to watch the onslaught the Lexus is currently providing on his teammate, who on a weaker tyre, he's doing a phenomenal job in the lead of this race at the moment. We've had a change in the mid-pack as well. We've got a little bit of a swapperoo then between Total Rose and Fubuki. Fubuki back up the inside of Total Rose, who's fighting for all his might for a good result here. Total Rose really got good pace so far. James P8, Bobby P10 behind Fat Pickles Bro. Nothing changed at the back. We can exclusively concentrate on this little battle. Hi rear wheel. Honest answer, mate, it was really late and I wanted to get to bed. I was in work at 6:30 this morning, so yeah, I needed my sleep. So I wasn't having a great race, I just bounced out. That's simple. It's simple as that. So this is it visualised then. Similar fuel, similar tyres between the two. It's Dark Clark that should have the advantage initially. Needs a good exit. Hirocram gets a slightly better one though. Alexis can begin chasing down the Citroen, who's weaving away on the straights to try and break the slipstream. Even with that Lexus power, I don't think... Not sure where Shell Shock went, by the way. Hirocram just sent it a bit too hard there. He's going to put him out of it. Yeah, Shell Shock looks like he just got out of the way, I think. It's going to be a superb victory for Dark Clark. Put the running in nice and early, wins the last feature race of season 7. Hirocram takes P2 and the championship title. Tommy Concrete P3, a great season from him. V-Show in 4th. Richie, a recovery drive like no other from the Subaru man. Had his issues early on, but for the remaining 38 minutes of the race has put through a stellar performance. P5 for him, and that's great points for Subaru. We'll have a tot-up of all these afterwards, of course. Fubuki going to have P6 on the road. Oh, his Total Rose there has a bit of an incident. James Harben is going to take P8 away from him. Is he? He is. Total Rose P8. Probably got enough time to just go and have a look at what happened to him. So James got past him. And Total Rose just sent it. That's all it was. Pickles finished in 9th. Bobby AK, what on earth are you playing at, Bobby, is in P10. It is at the moment. Infinite Graphics is actually chasing him down. So I'm going to start putting these points in. Pre-show 18. James, if you're listening, let me know what the situation is with fastest lap points. You have told me, I apologise for not remembering, but I'm just trying to put some results together. Fubuki 6. It's going to be 14 points for Fubuki. James Harbin, you're going to earn 12. Back to the last later. Oh, is that penalty you got? Yeah, mate, I'm doing it now. I'm doing it now, Mark. Just give me a sec. I just need to have another quick snapshot of the results. So where was I? James Harmon's Total Rose got the 10 points for 8th. Give me a second. Pickles got 9th. That's 8 points for Pickles. Bobby got 10th. Somehow Bobby scored points in this race. Didn't bloody deserve it. It was a shocking performance by our Bob. 6, Infinity Graphics. 5. And then 4 points for Shell Shock. Right. So what am I going to do? I'm just going to copy that into another sheet. Give me a sec. Paste. There we go. Right, so what I now can do is this. Give me a sec. Data sort range. So this is very rudimentary. This isn't confirmed because, of course, I'm not. I'm not in any way an official in this league. But if I can just draw your attention to this, this is the sheet I've been working on throughout the race. It will show Hirakram as having 247 points. Takes the win. Oh, wrong keyboard. Takes the championship win, and then you got Tommy Concrete 221 points, P2, Fubuki 186 points, P3. Dark Clark with that result leapfrogs a couple of people actually, 158 points for him. Then Richie leapfrogs Toby as well, who didn't score any points in that last one. I'm missing Bobby's points out of that and Total Rose as well at the sprint, so these aren't perfect. Drivers, you will get the actual points, but I know it's right for the top 3 or 4. Manu points done. Tommy, I'll be honest, mate, that's an absolute farce. Ain't nobody got time for that. In fact, actually, you know what, mate? You know what? Let's have a look. So, what was it before? So, Lexus and Citroen. Let's have a look at it, shall we? Let's just do this. So, let's paste them into there. Paste values only. So 333. So Citroen. So Lexus rather. Where did Bob finish in race 1? Can someone tell me where Bob finished in race 1? Did he finish in race 1? Oh, he was out. Was he out the points? He was out the points, wasn't he? That's why he don't earn any points. That's why. Right. So Lexus. Give me a sec. 36. On keyboard again. And then Citroen. You boys. 63. Oh, Citroen, you're on a riot. I think Citroen have got it, you know. Yeah, Citroen have got it. No, he was outside the points, Clarky. That's why I couldn't. Only the top 10 got points. So you might not be able to see this too well on screen. Lexus finished with 369 points, so we'll finish P2. Citroen 379 points. So overall as a team, despite missing out on the title for, what do you call it, the Drivers' Championship, because Hirocam snatched that. As a team effort, for the way they've performed through the season, provisional scores, of course, they take the manufacturer's title by 10 points. Of course, this has all got to be confirmed. James and Dave have got to do their thing. There might be stewards' inquiries, all sorts, so the officials will officially reveal the results. If I'm commentating on the championship, the champions event, I'll go through it then as well. But look, based on this, they do take it. So yeah, that's that. That's it from me for tonight. I think there's not much more I really need to go through with you. Let's just get back onto these boys and have a look at the duck. So well done to Hirocam for the driver's title, and well done to Team Citroen. That's Dark Clark and Tommy Concrete for the manufacturer's title. I assume they all get entered into the Champion of Champions event. That is the Bugatti event on Tuesday the 1st of March, so 2 weeks, I want to say 2 weeks. So that'll be hopefully on this channel, but James will confirm with me at some point whether I get the privilege of doing that one yet. Oh no, it's a week away. I forgot it's February, it's a shorter month, isn't it? So yeah, hopefully join me for that, and we'll see you next time. We'll see you there. You'll see some of these drivers again, and I think it's same time, same place, same night. So keep your Tuesday night free next week, because you're going to have some good racing again. So hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Appreciate you tuning in. Georgie the Duck says good night. Oh, wrong one. I'm doing all sorts. I was meant to click this. That was meant to do. I was meant to click Georgie. Georgie says good night. There we go, Bob. It's a lovely duck. Let's just stretch her even more, shall we? There we go. So Georgie says good night. Thanks for watching. We will see you all next time out. Take care of yourselves, and yeah, appreciate you stopping by. Bye 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 bye.